Welcome to today's video. If you are new to my channel, my name is David J. Kelly, and I'm going to walk you through in this video why I believe that so many men are struggling to get what they want in life today, whether that's in relationships, in their career, the opportunities they want, the respect they want, everything like that. But do me a favor, make sure you stay all the way to the end here, because I think this is all going to make sense in context when you understand what I'm explaining about this entire thing and how all of these actually connect to one another. And if you're new here, also click subscribe, because I'm putting videos out like this constantly. So let's dig right into this and talk about why I believe most guys are not getting what they want in life. If you simply think about how most men live in today's world, it's very easy to understand why most guys settle. They don't get what they want in terms of women or money or career or opportunities they want in their life. And it's because of the mindset that they walk with. See, if you think about how most men are told their whole lives, and we hear this all the time, like if you're working a job, let's say, that people will tell you you are replaceable. And in a lot of ways in your job, you might be. If you're in school, maybe you're not in that world yet, but let's say you're out into your job of some sort, no matter what it is, and you know that common theme of you're replaceable. If they got rid of you, like the next day, somebody could come in and fill that role for you. Now, the reality is this goes broader than just your job or your career. This actually, for most guys, is true in their relationships. This is true in their daily life, and this is true in terms of all aspects of life. And the simple reason for this is that most guys have not built themselves into somebody that is irreplaceable. Now, this is going to challenge everything you've probably heard your entire life, because for your entire life, you've probably been told in so many ways that there's nothing special about you, there's nothing unique about you, or whatever. And I hate to say it, but for a lot of guys, this is true. And this is why you are replaceable in your job. This is why you're replaceable in your relationship. This is why you're replaceable in a lot of ways. And this truth is very hard to accept. But what I want you to think about is that there actually is a version of you that is completely irreplaceable. There's a version of you that if you stepped into it, all these things that you maybe have settled for, or let's say you're not even settling for them. Let's say you don't even have a relationship. You don't even have a job that you want. Maybe you're settling in every area of life. You don't get the opportunities you want in your life. The simple reason for this, and this was so hard for me to grasp for so long, is that I wasn't the man yet that was worthy of those things I wanted. I'm going to repeat that again. I had to learn the hard lesson that I simply was not the man that warranted attracting in the things that I wanted to my life. I'm going to use that term, attracting in, as a theme throughout this video, because that really is the essence of this. You see, if you were to build yourself into being irreplaceable, being your most authentic, unique, masculine self, you would attract in the things that you want without any effort. And I'm going to use the example of women here, because I think this is the easiest way to paint this picture in your mind. If you look at how most guys approach women, they DM them, they swipe on dating apps, and maybe they approach them in coffee shops, or I'm just making this up, in Target, whatever it is. And to some extent, there's nothing wrong with any of that. But what I want you to think about is that if you did lean into that version of you that was most irreplaceable, you wouldn't even have to do any of that stuff. Think about that. If you became the most authentic, unique version of yourself, you would not have to do any of the tactics, swiping on dating apps, or any of that stuff. Now, straight up, I still do some of that. But what I will tell you is that I am able to create attraction in women very, very quickly. Even sometimes where I don't want it to happen. Okay? And the reason for this is not just because of my delts or my beard or something like that. Like, a lot of guys think attraction's all about like how you look, and to some extent, like base level attraction, yeah, that is it. But the reason I've been able to do this now, I'm 32 years old now, when I was not able to do this 5 years ago, is because I fully embraced that most irreplaceable version of me. And what you'll notice is that when you've embraced that, it's not about what you're saying and doing with women. And again, I'm sticking on the women example here because I think this is going to paint this picture for you. It's how you carry yourself. you have this confidence and self-assuredness of knowing inside of yourself, there's nobody that can replace me. And literally in my life, and I'll give you this example, there is nobody that can replace me. I am a vocalist in a metal band with anywhere from 70 to 100,000 monthly listeners. Sometimes we get above that. I own a coaching company. I help guys grow and improve exactly what we're talking about here. I'm a bodybuilder that's placed 2 spots away from turning pro in classic physique. There is literally no other man on the face of this earth that has the blend of what I just talked about. Not a single other man. So I walk with that confidence of knowing that. And to be clear, I've walked with that confidence of knowing that for a very long time. I didn't need to have the accolades in front of me. Like, I was that bodybuilder before I got those placings in my mind. I was that vocalist before my band ever had any success. When I was making music, I was 20 years old and getting 300 views on a YouTube video, right? The same way that now, as I'm sitting here making this video on a new YouTube channel, I know that probably not get that many views. But I know in 3, 4, 5 years down the road of continually being consistent with this, that I will get where I want to be. Okay? Now that mindset is what carries me through everything I'm talking about here. That mindset is also the self-assuredness of when I go around women, they feel that, right? Because when you walk around as a man knowing, hey, I'm replaceable, there's nothing special about me. Like, I hear guys say this all the time. Well, if you don't think there's something special about you, if you don't think there's anything unique about you, why would a woman think that? Why would your employer think that? Why would the people that you want the opportunities from in life think that about you? Why would other men respect you? And the reason is, and the dark truth I should say is, a lot of times they don't, because they can feel that in you. The way you carry yourself as a man is how the world responds to you. And the reason for that is because the masculine energy is the penetrative force of nature, meaning that the way you direct yourself in life and how you carry yourself completely dictates how people respond to you, especially women. Feminine energy is receptive by nature. So women are always going to be responding to and reacting to the way that you carry yourself. Easiest way to think about this is, if you go to a gym and there's a front desk girl working, watch how she reacts to you when you scan in, when you're in a shitty mood versus when you're in a great mood. When you go in and you're in a great mood, hey, what's up? You scan in, maybe you're a little bit more of an outgoing guy. She lights up, right? You go in, pissed off, you scan, maybe it's been a bad day at work or whatever. You scan, you go in. She's not going to give you that reaction. And sometimes there's things going on in her life too, of course. But the point is that as a man, you set the frame of your life, okay? So the question becomes, well, how do you become irreplaceable? And this is where this gets a little bit more dense and probably worth a whole video in and of itself that I'll follow up with here at some point. But I'll give you the basic overview of this. You have to develop your own persona. Okay, for me, that's what I already explained. I'm a musician, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm a men's masculine development coach, right? That's like what makes me up on the large of it. I'm an outgoing guy, I talk well on camera, like that's me, right? I'm charismatic. You don't need to be this, like what you're looking at here. You don't need to be the beard and the chain and the muscle and the tank. Like, that doesn't need to be you. Like, this works for guys that I know that are like nerdy. They're video game guys. Maybe they're more like anime guys or something, right? But they embrace that persona, and maybe they're really good at like skateboarding and they play video games and they're kind of funny but more shy or something like that. Like, whatever it is, you got to embrace that. Okay? But there are overarching things for men that every man needs to lean into. So the first thing is you need to develop that unique persona for yourself. The second thing is three-pronged, actually. You need to build your body, you need to build your mindset, and you need to build your spirit, which I would call your life direction and your legacy focus. You need to build all three of these. Your body is the foundation, right? You don't need to be, again, you don't need to look like this. All right, I'm a classic physique bodybuilder trying to turn pro. You don't need to look like this. But you should have muscle. You should be on the leaner side and in shape. You should have well-regulated hormones. You should have a well-regulated nervous system. You need to have a mindset that is positive and directional and clear. A lot of guys are walking around with brain fog and a bunch of other stuff in today's world because of all the stuff I said about the body that they're not doing. So if you work on your body, you'll build a mindset organically, naturally, just because of that, right? The next part is the spirit part, right? A lot of people think of spirit as, some arbitrary thing like religion or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your masculine spirit that every man carries. There is a divine calling in you, divine masculine calling. There's a reason you're on this earth. And most men are so screwed up in their body and mind, they can't even hear that or feel that. So that's why you got to take care of your body and your mind first. If you take care of those two things, that also will reveal itself to you. That's really important. When you figure out that life direction and that calling in life, don't look at it as like, oh, I'm meant to be an engineer, right? Like, let me use myself as an example. I don't look at it and say, I'm meant to be a men's masculine development coach. I'm meant to be a metal vocalist. I'm meant to be a bodybuilder. No. The way I look at it is a macro view of what do I want to have done in this world? What kind of impact do I want to have by the time my life is over? It's deep. It's deep to think about it like that. Work backwards from that. What are the vehicles that you can use to carry out that mission in your life? So for me, the vehicles that I use for my calling in life is content like this, talking to guys like you. It's coaching men one-on-one. It's putting guys through my course I have, right? It's writing lyrics and releasing music into the world. And it's showcasing and building my body as to be an example for what other people can do with their lives. That's what I do. That's my mission, right? But you shouldn't replicate mine. You should build your own. And that's the most important part. So, like I said, if you do these things, then the question becomes, well, how does that result in you getting what you want in life? Because I already said at the beginning of the video, I was going to tell you how that was the case. Well, think about it like this. Most guys, and I'm going to use the women example again, but I'm going to use this as it pertains to your career and everything else, because this stuff all works the same. So if you think of yourself as think of the sun, okay? The sun in our solar system is so large, right? So you think about the sun like this, and here's the planets going around the sun. The sun is literally so big that, and strong gravitationally, that the planets have no choice but to orbit it, right? So we don't choose on Earth to orbit the sun. And actually, in fact, the moon does not choose whether it orbits us. And I don't have a choice whether I want to be glued to this couch or not. The gravitational force of the earth pulls me in like that, right? So in your life, what you want to do is expand your own gravitational force, and you want to grow into a bigger center of mass. If you do that, when you do that, you'll notice that you pull in what you want more of, because now you're clear about it. So when you define your mission and direction, you now know where you're going. You work intently on that. You need the discipline and the consistency to do that. And suddenly those things start to reveal themselves to you. So for example, when I said that I have, 100,000 monthly listeners for my band Tethra. Well, why is that the case? It's because we make music that's good enough for people to like it, right? If the music sucked, then nobody would listen to us. Nobody would share us. Nobody would make TikTok reaction videos like they do. But they do, right? Why? Because they love it, right? Why do I have more opportunities with women at this point in my life than I did 5 years ago? Because I'm walking with stronger magnetism. My gravitational force is bigger. My body's better. My mind's better. My life direction's better. And this is where you have to understand that you can complain and whine all you want about how life's unfair and all these different things. You see these guys that get everything they want in life. This is why. This is why. Some guys just have it more naturally than others. And some of us, like me, I had to work for it. But you know what the reality is? Most guys got to work for it. Most guys got to work for it, right? Most guys aren't just naturally growing up with this magnetism and this pull. They have to build it. They have to build it. And that's what you have the opportunity to do as a man. So you need to build yourself to be the most irreplaceable version of yourself. If you made it this far in the video, I want to extend an opportunity to you. It's totally free. If you go down into the link in my description here, you'll find that I have a free training to literally teach you how to build exactly what I'm talking about. It's called the magnetic effect. I'm going to teach you how to build your body, your mind, your life direction, your polarity, and how to attract in what you want in your life. So go down there, click that, take that right now. Make sure you're subscribed because I'm putting videos out like this constantly. And I will see you guys in the next video. Keep building yourself. Keep being magnetic.